Hello, everyone. I hope everyone can hear me all right. Let's see if that's many people signed on today. Let's see. I'm going to put the main chat. Excellent. So today's AMA, we're going to do. It's going to be a 30-minute AMA. There's lots of other things that I have to work on today, but I want to update the community. Let's see. Can you guys hear me all right? I said yes. Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you for that, Ryan. Thank you, Irene. The something happened very good recently. Something that we've been working on. I'm going to go ahead and announce it. We just these past 5 days. Actually, it was on Sunday. After spending all of the last couple of weeks making small changes and reviews, we signed a funding agreement with an institutional fund, full out contract. This is as now we're adapting to being public reporting. I know I've been reading the rules, and it's very important for us to disclose these things. We had previous terms, non-binding term sheets signed by different funds. We ended up going with an institutional fund that has done over $1 billion in investments across different sectors in the healthcare space, in the tech space. But basically, they I guess they're most well known for being one of the funders of DocuSign. But we signed with them just recently, just got back their signature yesterday morning, and everything is wrapped up on that end. What does that mean for us now? We just this morning I tested the apps. We have to launch them. That's very important for us to be operational. I was focused on getting the funding done. We still have the R financing that's also coming in. Waiting on a couple of things wrapping up there. But the main one was the institutional fund. We had to have an institutional backer. And we got that from a fund that's reputable, has funded other companies. So that's it's a very, very big announcement for us. It's something that actually in all our history, in all the history that I've been doing this, we've never had a commitment of this size, and it really is going to help us take Doc.com to a global scale. Without really having to, it gives us a backbone. We'll always have to look for alternative sources of funding for cost of capital, but this will give us the backbone that we need to proceed. I just actually requested, we just set up everything to do the first drawdown, so we can start spending money on the things that we need to spend money on. And this has been something, it's a huge milestone for us. So now that we were approved, we can go ahead and do these things and execute the plan that was in the filings. In regards to our apps, they are being uploaded as we speak to the US app stores. We're launching right now with our services. Our first group of doctors is based mostly out of the southeast of the US. And we're going to be, I would call it a soft launch still in the US, because marketing and big marketing PR efforts are not going to really kick in until the first week of January, second week of January. But we're still going to launch them anyways. So, community members that are in the US can download them, test them out. We can try the users app, the marketplace, and we can start adding vendors and things like that. So it's that's the next step for us right now. We just tested out the apps, and everything's looking good so far. There's lots of things that we're gonna launch coming down the road, other partnerships that we're pursuing, a lot of stuff with AI, but essentially, you know, the main focus right now is to have the basics functioning as they should, and that means that we can give our consultations as they are needed, and we can expand our marketplace with more vendors and more products. So that's the main thing that's important right now. Also, I reached out to the Bitrue community, or to the Bitrue team, to talk about our MTC USD trading pair that's going to be shifting towards the LifeChain Foundation. As far as I understand, there is a chance. I'm not 100% sure that anything has happened negatively with Bitrue so far, but I did tell them that we're going to start up with new market makers, and we're going to build our own market makers, basically, to do that. So I'll have a response from them soon. Right before I started the AMA, I actually reached out to them as well to have an update on them, because I was talking to the person that used to help us. It was me and Daniel dealing with her. She is no longer working within Bitrue. She's working outside. She still has contact with people within Bitrue, but is now working in a different organization. But she did help us with the initial approach to changing market makers, and having Bitrue as our main exchange for MTC. I'm going to go ahead and look at questions. I know that there's been a lot of, Sandro sent me a message, told me that there's been a lot of questions from the community. And, I haven't done an AMA in 2 weeks now, but we had to get this part done. It's very important that we had some strong progress. This agreement took a while to review. You're talking about agreements that are nearly 40 pages long with all these terms and things. We had to ensure that it was all done the right way. I reviewed it with a fine comb, but basically that's done, signed, ready to go. I can publicly talk about this. We're going to do a public announcement about this in big media outlets, as you've seen the previous articles that have come out. I also did a podcast as well, another one. I did one last week. That one will be coming out as well. And we're going to start putting together all these things, all the marketing and PR things, into the group so everyone can see. And it's just there's a lot of things we have to do right now in regards to execution. But the main goal right now is to ensure that our apps are running well, that we have users coming in, and we're testing things out. And as Ryan is saying, ironing out the kinks, and we have enough products there to make it attractive for everyone and compelling. I just read a report recently on the world situation, and it looks like 2024 may be a year for many of crisis, of financial crisis, because they say, oh, the stock market's going to drop. And I think when it comes to healthcare is always something that people look for lower cost options during crisis moments. So I see that as a big opportunity for us to grow. But there's always a need for it, so that's a good thing. And we're also exploring the partnerships that we have coming up. We're looking at maybe doing some acquisitions down the road, something that we've been thinking about doing, and talking to companies, individuals about already. Sorry, just got a small small thing with my throat right now. But basically, what we want to do right now is just launch the apps and get the ball rolling with operations. Start adding users. Start closing transactions as far as sales go, selling products, and giving people free basic healthcare. That's really the objective that we have to achieve to fulfill the mission. So it still has things that we're going to probably optimize and polish out, but the basics are there. We're ready to go for that. And there's other additions to the apps that we want to do. Everything related to the crypto economy. Those are all things that we want to do. We're going to disclose them in time. But right now, this is very exciting for us. It's exciting times. I know that there's also people that they've sent me emails. They've sent us emails in regards to the MTC swap. What's going to happen there is we built out a plan that I had already mentioned about in the past, but we had to wait for this part to be done. So now that we got approved and we have this next stage fulfilled, we are going to send out agreements to those people who had, first of all, the people from the safe list. That's one agreement. And those of you that wanted to do the swap, I think we can also offer another type of document for those. There just has to be it can't be in any cryptocurrency. It has to be fiat. So that's really the only thing that we have to ensure gets done. But that will require the LifeChain's involvement. So that's how it was originally planned to be done. And now we can proceed to that next stage. So I'll go ahead and answer questions. See if anyone has any questions. As customary in the AMAs, I think it's important. I think it'll be good for everyone to see the announcement that's coming up in regards to what I just talked about, our funding agreement. I requested specifically for it to be this week, even though the team wanted to push it for the first week of January. But I said, no, let's make it this week so we can finish the year strong. It'll build up with everything that we have coming. How and when will the cryptocurrency become a meaningful piece of equipment you are proud of showcasing instead of being a mere shackle through which long-term investors are bound? Ooh, that's a good question. Well, look, the true value in the cryptocurrency or any cryptocurrency in our case would be to have true baseline utility. And that means that there's consultations happening and there's product sales happening. And that gives it a baseline utility. It's also very important that we did this as a public reporting company so we can disclose what we have planned on doing. So it doesn't matter now for us if it's a utility or a security. What matters is that we're doing this the right way and disclosing it as we build it out. So it's important to consider the fact that we first did this outside of the US, very different business model, whole different company, and now now we're doing this as a US based public reporting company, and we're adding that crypto economy element to it because it benefits not only in the form of transparency, but also benefits in the form of the actual use case and benefits and feeds towards free basic healthcare. So when will that happen? As soon as we start hashing product sales and consultations. That's when there's enough utility to build up to make it something meaningful and we can showcase it. And that requires us to launch. So that's why it's so important for us to launch. But those are the two starter things, the two things that we're starting with that we're hashing. There's other things that we're going to hash down the road. There's other ways that we'll use cryptocurrencies and blockchain technology in general to benefit free basic healthcare and benefit doc.com and benefit users in the end. But we want to do it under, the right regulatory structure. So as we build out different phases, we will be disclosing them and adding them. First two things to start is hashing of product sales and hashing of consultations. but I think that'll be enough to really kickstart enough transactions for it to build some intrinsic value. And that's really where we want to get to. We want to build something that has intrinsic value. And it's a hard thing to do, but it's definitely possible. And I think it's also one of the most beautiful aspects of how we're doing it, because there's no real other healthcare company doing it this way. Let's see. Does the new deal give you access to funds immediately or after listing? No, the new deal gives us, most of the funds are after post listing. What we have access to now is we have access to some capital pre-listing, which is what I requested previous. But the actual agreement is the bulk of the funds is post-listing. But we do have access to enough capital from this to everything that we need to lead up to the listing. How many people signed for the Reg A so far? I think we're near 170 right now. We're almost, we need to reach 100 and we need about 150 more, less than 150, 130 more right now. So we're actually going to put out another agreement and increase the share price now that the announcement's coming out for our funding. So that's important for those of you who still want to get shares under the current price point of the Reg A. It's the time to do it, because during this week, we're going to push out another offer, which is still good. It's going to scale the price of the shares up, very important aspect, but it won't be near what the offer is right now. So people want to use that same link and come in. It's the time to do it right now. You know, I think even though I consider this a public forum, our Telegram community chat, it is considered a public forum. The thing is, I still think that those who participate in the community chat have a privilege in the sense that a lot of people they're not finding out about this, and I mean it hasn't been necessary to really blow things up because we really need to have the services launched and the apps launched first. But look at all the stuff that happened in the background. Look at the funding agreement. That's a huge thing for us right now. The build of the apps, the changing of the company, the new business model, the filings, the Reg A filing. All of those things happened in this past year. There's a lot of work. We had to do a public company audit. I mean, those things took a lot of work, and it was just it's very satisfying to have gone to where we are now. But really, it's a lot of groundwork that we put in, and the next stage will be more of a growth stage for us. So we still have to get to that 300 shareholders minimum, and increase that even more down the road as well. But we are going to scale up the price for the shares. Let's see, will users have to be patient in order to use a marketplace, or can they use a marketplace as a standalone service? They can use the marketplace as a standalone service. It's actually, if you've seen the apps, actually, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to showcase the app. I'm sure everyone has seen it already, but this is what we're launching essentially. Just one more time so people can see. Hold on. Let's take a look here. Okay. You can see that Patrick is on. All right. I think people can see right now. Should be able to see the screen. we'll open it up there. There we go. Yeah, so you can see that it's under my profile. Hey there, Charles. Location that I have set for is Miami. You can always change the location. It does it automatically as well. But basically, there's the 4 buttons. You can see your consult history, generals, specialists, veterinarians, psychologists, and doctors. Just press the button. It asks you if you have health insurance. Very important. Many people do have health insurance, but let's put this time we don't have health insurance. We'll do a routine checkup, and it initiates a call. Just as simple as that. So these are ads that are displayed during the waiting period. Pretty simple, and it just puts us in a wait time. So obviously, right now, doctors are not active, but that's what will happen as soon as we launch. And we also have ads here. You can press that as well, and it ends it. Now, the products, we have some that we have loaded here for testing, but it's just a traditional marketplace. You can see the products here. Not too complex, pretty simple to figure out. You can buy anything on here, and it is our job really to populate this with as many products as possible. Now, JBA is actually a vendor from California. They have a pretty large product offering, 40 different products. This is our current marketplace. I already see things that I think we're going to optimize quickly, but you can definitely see the general functionality of it all. It's in Spanish and in English. Obviously, it's detecting that I'm too far away from the Miami location because I'm not even in Miami right now. But that's what it says here, a bit too far for the delivery address. And you can pay in different formats, credit card, and just have it delivered to your home and shipped to your home. So basically, that's it. That's the address that I had saved on there in Miami. And once it's done, you can track it. That's just a small demo for everyone to see. It's pretty simple. The orders, once you run through them, once you run through the orders, you can see the categories here. You have pharmacy, fitness, medical devices, pet care, eyewear, supplements. You can go different categories. This is just another test for different products. As I'm using the test version right now, but this is what we're launching with the full public version of it. And it's the same thing. Click psychologists, veterinarians, same thing. So you can always go and see the products in this bottom half, offers and discounts. All of those products will be loaded on. We have to keep on adding more and more products, but that's essentially it. You don't have to have there we go, we're back. You don't have to be you don't have to have a consultation to buy a product. The only thing you need a consultation for is if you need a prescription in order to get a prescription drug. Let's see. That's Green's question here. Reg A filing specified price for 25 million shares. If you increase the share price, does that mean you will conclude the Reg A offering? No, it does not. The Reg A offering is still active. We're allowed to raise the share price. I'm pretty sure Patrick is listening right now. He can probably comment on that, but I'm pretty sure at least our legal team has told us that we can definitely raise a share price. And that's something that we will be doing as more announcements come up, as we launch, as more partnerships get signed, just everyththing as we grow. We will be offering other pools of shares at higher price points. Thank you for everyone for your praise on the app. To be honest, all of these things are always things that can be optimized and worked on and improved upon. We did make it as simple as possible. No real forms or anything to fill out. If you have insurance, you have to fill out some information, but it's not necessary. It's just a simple one button press. And I think it's we're adding the AI component as well. That's one of the things that's coming up in the next stage. The one I did a demo to the community a few months ago, which the AI actually will explain the diagnosis and the prescription. We're actually doing that as well. But you know, we have to start with the basics right now. The most important thing right now is we already have the basics built. We just need to launch, and it's and launch and start getting users in and work out whatever kinks are necessary. But you know, with the amount, I think our product is compelling enough with free basic healthcare in a simplified product marketplace. It's compelling enough for people to try out and get help, you know, for whatever they need. You know, maybe you only need to buy something, you know, facial cream or something like that. You can buy it from our marketplace. You know, let's see. Is it too late to buy shares? No, you can buy shares during our offering that we have right now. We still need. Cordy is asking this question, which Cordy, I've seen your messages on Twitter sometimes. Sorry if I don't respond to them. I just get so many messages from so many places, but I've seen your message there. You can buy shares right now with the links on Right Signature. We'll go ahead and share them to you again. Yeah, you can buy shares still right now. Are you leaning towards a specific pharmacy partner? Well, that's a great question. We actually have a partnership with a closed door pharmacy right now. That's the ones we're starting off with. There are other opportunities as far as partnerships go, but really what matters the most to me is the lowest cost. So, because in the end, that's really, sometimes patients, they don't care where they get it from as long as the cost is lower. So that's one of the main things. There are some benefits to other pharmacy partners. You know, the closed door pharmacies, I like them because they already are accustomed to shipping to different spots, to nursing homes and hospice centers and things like that. So they're more in line with kind of what we do. But you know, there's other benefits of having pharmacy partnerships, and you know, it's with big pharmacies, for example, in the U.S. But it's not it's not an absolute necessary thing. I think we would have to be very incentivized. It's a problem that we've already resolved with closed door pharmacies. So, you know, if there is an opportunity to partner up with a bigger firm, we'll probably definitely explore it though, with a bigger partner. How do we participate in Reg A shares when from Europe? It's the same way you can participate if you're not in Europe. If you're in the US, you can just go ahead and put your information there, and your payment can be done through credit card. You can also wire in. It's much easier for the amount, because the amount is small. It's much easier just to use a credit card or debit card, and you can do it. Reg A, the great thing about a Reg A offering is it doesn't matter where the shareholders are coming from. They can come from, you know, outside of the US or within the US. There's no restrictions in regards to that. Let's see. Want to sign up for the share, but this is my first foreign share stock. Can I sign up first? You can, well, this is a great question here by Namdi. I hope I said that correctly. If you want to purchase some shares, you can just follow the links. It's a very easy, streamlined process. But it just asks you for your official ID, your general information and address, and you can pay with the credit card directly. And you get them sent to you. The shares, your agreement is automatically sent to you. Once you have the shares, you can use any brokerage. If you're in any big bank, you tell them, hey, I have US NASDAQ shares. Usually the big banks in other countries offer you brokerage accounts themselves, or you can just, you know, do a Google search and find it. There's many options for people for NASDAQ shares. If you have an AI consult hundreds, if not thousands of patients at the same time, Well, yes, that's a triage. There's nothing like having a human being doctor finalize. They're the only ones that can actually prescribe. The AI definitely can help, and I believe AI will be as accurate as doctors, but still there's a human aspect that's really important right now. We're not at the stage right now where we can fully replace a doctor with AI. Um, that day may come. It probably will come, and we may be a big part of that. But at this stage in our lives, and at this stage in the timeline of the planet, it's still a requirement to have doctors and psychologists and veterinarians. If you really, really want that quality of service, and that's why I always push so hard, because I thought, well, there is really you can't say that it's the same as sitting down with a therapist and having a 30-minute session or 15-minute session than trying a 30 minutes with an AI. It's not to say that the AI won't do a decent job, but it still is not to the level that will replace a therapist. And then you have, on the clinical side, you have the prescription problem. An AI cannot prescribe, at least right now they can't. So that's very, very important in healthcare. If you don't have a credit card, you can also I think we accept PayPal. You can also wire funds. Those are the options. The amount is quite small. $60 maximum, but there are other options as well. Let's see. Welcome, Hunter. I'm looking at MTC stock swap. Very important here to clarify yet again. I've mentioned this in the past. There is no actual MTC to stock swap that we are doing. That's being done through the LifeChain. Why? Because we're under SEC regulation. We cannot accept any crypto payments because of regulation. It all has to be in fiat. So the actual exchange from MTC to fiat, the LifeChain will be doing. And then if you decide to, you can invest that fiat into stocks. The stock will be tokenized on the NASDAQ. As of now, that's not in the plans. MTC and the way it's being used is very different from the stock itself. We'd probably have to do something completely different there, but it's not a tokenized stock. That is a good point that I have thought about before, tokenizing the stock. But it's more important for us to get to this next stage. I think it's a valuable opportunity, but it's not the same as MTC. MTC is a completely different thing. How many doctors is the total goal for the first quarter? Well, I would say probably at least probably around from 200 to 300 as a minimum. We definitely need more than that, but that's as a minimum for the first stage. Where can we buy a t-shirt? We will put that up on our website. We actually have a whole bunch of merchandise that we have in plans of putting out. And thank you for considering that. I actually would love for people to help us spread the word of free basic healthcare and our mission with merchandise. Good 2 cents there, Martin. Looking at your comments here. Thank you for that. Definitely great insights there. Can one use a prepaid card? Yes, you can. It works the same as a credit card. Very simple for vendors to operate the app and upload products onto the app. Yes, that is true. You can, if you have a product that you want to sell on the Doc.com marketplace, you can just download the Doc Vendors app, upload your product there, fill the description, and start receiving orders. Do you have 200 doctors already ready? We have a network right now of 132 doctors. So not 200 quite as of yet, but we're near it. Let's see. Will Doc.com function as some sort of DAO for the life chain? No. The reasoning behind that is, at least right now, the answer to that is no. The life chain, the life chain's purpose is to decentralize data, primarily healthcare data or everything related with life, which is almost everything, anything that you can record. So it has a different mission. It's similar to Doc.com's, and it helps Doc.com's model for free basic healthcare. And what we always wanted to set up and build, which we built to a certain extent in the past, was commercializing of the healthcare data statistics. You know, when you see a panel, you say, okay, there's 20% of the population of men in this region have, heart disease, or, things like that are important to public health, that people can subscribe to a dashboard where they can see these things. And the funds from that come in, get converted into MTC, and are fed back into the crypto economy as a reward for users for their data. Now, that aspect, that is literally the crypto economy. And the life chains aspect of that operates as a foundation. That can turn into a DAO, but Doc.com should not have an influence over that actual organization. And that's because it should be transparent. It should be separate. It wouldn't be ethical to have them joined. And we want to build something that's good for humanity and amazing down the road and can grow and grow long after we're gone. So, we want to keep these things separate. Doc.com is a company that's focused on building many, many healthcare services, starting with what we have now, and providing an amazing marketplace, and has a mission to provide free basic healthcare. But the life chain actually has its own mission. And because of the sensitivity behind the economic aspect of it and how decentralization of data should be considered globally for transparency reasons, there should not be a connection there that is detrimental to its mission. And that connection could, that connection with Doc.com in the form of a DAO would be of conflict to it. So we're going to stay away from that. Yeah, LifeChain will aggregate data. The main thing about the LifeChain is decentralizing data, storage of data, and offering hashing services either in the form of a subnet or its own blockchain. Even though it's not necessary at this stage, but down the road, it's definitely that's how it's planned to be done. Don't you think it's more important to secure 300 million before giving promises or making contracts for doctors to work for Doc? Well, yes, and that's why we decided to do that first. That's, things have to come in stages, and we've already experienced many things, so very, very important to do that first. And it's definitely that's what I was focused on all, these past couple of weeks. We've been doing a lot of things, but one thing that's very important to consider is we're doing this as a public company now, and it's inevitable to receive criticism. Yet I think it's hugely beneficial to be doing this as a public company, because of the nature of what we're doing. We have helped so many people in the past, and the help there is undeniable, and it should be pursued in a way that it becomes a true utility that people can fully trust. Doing it as a public company is something I've wanted to do for years now. For years. This is the best path to do this, and it's a path that we're taking now. Let's see. Would the veterinary button show in the app from day one, or just focusing on doctors? No, it shows from day one. It's definitely showing on day one. It's as you saw the button there, it's being shown on day one. So it's all three services: doctors, psychologists, and veterinarians. Now, the only difference there would be how many doctors, how many psychologists, and how many vets are connected at one specific moment. The goal is to have enough to have full coverage all the time, but it's the ramp up speed will vary from each one. We're starting off with a group of doctors that's pretty decent. We also have a small group of psychologists, and we have a very small group of veterinarians, but they are all starting, and there's already PR and marketing plans to grow all three of those user bases. Richard, thank you for that. Definitely, please, if you can share with Quentin, that'd be great. We actually have a call coming up soon. I'm going to wrap up the AMA in 7 minutes, just because I actually extended it longer than it should be, but I'm very excited for what's coming. I apologize for not doing other AMAs these past weeks, but it got pretty intense with what we had to do. We are pursuing. We are going to put out another. We're going to put out another offer to higher share price, so it's very important to consider. Crypto Jeremy, I had responded to your question before, but I'll go ahead and answer that again. MTC to fiat stock swap, that's a requirement first to do the live chain, and then the live chain will convert your MTC to fiat, and then you can use that fiat to buy stock. That will happen, and it will happen definitely before listing. So don't worry, it will happen before listing. It's in the plans right now. We had to focus on getting our funding locked in and signed and getting our filings done, things like that. But that is something that's happening. So there's your timeline for that. Wait for the live chain. That should be 60 days or less, especially now that we have funding locked in. So, as I was saying, this has been a long road, but it's a very good thing. What announcement, Sandro's asking, is coming this week? Well, the one I just announced, the funding announcement, and you will see it in the media. That's what I mean by that. The community is privileged here to be the first ones. Once that announcement comes out, definitely the shares will be offered at a different price point, much higher than it is now. But the community is the first to know. So that's the announcement that's coming out. It's going to change a lot of things for us. So it's been a long road, but it's been very worth it. And we're doing this as a public company. Not only that is that a benefit for us as a company, and as we build things out, it makes us accountable, and it makes us, I'm very proud of what we're doing, despite all the ups and downs and everything we lived through. This has been, it has changed people's lives in the past, and that's no joke. I mean, we have saved people's lives multiple times, not just once. And, that has always been the driving force behind pushing so hard and getting it. And, it was only a matter of time before an institutional fund came in and helped us. And we have such a great brand name. We have a lot of things that are of benefit to what we're doing. But no one ever said it was going to be easy, because building things like this are hard. They are very hard, but we're getting it done. And that's why I wanted to do it as a public company. I think us being a public company and all the team members that have come on board, Patrick is listening right now, and Patrick and Alex and Itzel and Tanya and everyone else has come, Daniel, everyone else is coming, and everyone that's helped, Sandro has helped, everyone, Quinton, everyone has been, so many people have come and helped. Craig, I mean, I can go on and on and mention more people, but I'm extremely grateful. And everything that I'm talking about now, we actually are disclosing in our filings. No one's playing around here. We're doing this. It has taken a lot of work, and we're pushing forwards to get this done. It's a big feat. In the podcast, people are like, "This is incredible." What you're executing upon, and they always say, "Well, we really hope this becomes real because it will really change the world." And it's true. I think people have access to these services. Um, we can really make a huge impact on the world, and you're all part of it. So I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, everyone, uh, for being here. As always, I appreciate it very much from the heart, and look forward to doing another AMA very soon. Looking forward to the announcement coming out. You'll see it come out just as the articles, and we are working right now on finally, after everything, launching our services. So thank you very much, everyone. Have a great week. Merry Christmas and Happy Hanukkah and happy holidays to everyone. If you have wherever you are, happy holidays. Thank you.